Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl Grace Tori and I am back with a whole new video. Before we get into the video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a video. And don't forget to comment what you thought of this video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to get into a college. Everything you need to know from essays to applications to scholarships, GPAs, ACT, SAT, pretty much everything. So if you want to see how to do that, let's jump on into the video. So the first thing you need to do is research the schools you're interested in. I am going to be using the University of Kentucky. Oh my goodness, Evie's playing in the background if you hear. I'm going to be using the University of Kentucky because that is where I attend, but it is just going to be an example. If you just follow these steps for every single school, then you'll be fine. The first thing you're going to do is do some research on that school. You are going to look into their average ACT score for what they accept, their average SAT score, their average GPA for high schoolers that they accept, and the acceptance rate. So for the University of Kentucky, I'm going to pull something up right here and it's going to have all of this. So first I looked up their ACT scores and it says 22 to 28, which is really good. And then I looked up the GPA of an average high school student who gets into the University of Kentucky, and that is a 3.51. Then I looked up the SAT scores because if you're not from Kentucky, you usually do SAT, but pretty much everyone in Kentucky uses ACT, so University of Kentucky is pretty familiar with that. So in reading and writing, they have a 550 to 660, and then in math, they have a 530 to 670. So once you look that up, obviously you want to try and get within that range, on the higher end of that range. And in my opinion, the best way to do this is to just do your best. Don't just see that average and say, okay, I just have to be in that average. You want to be above average, because in the end, if you decide split second that you want to go to a different school, you don't want to look at it and say, oh, I could have gotten in if I would have tried harder. But, you know, so the better you do in school, the better you do on everything, obviously the more options you're going to have, and I just recommend getting the highest on every single exam to get in that you have to, the highest GPA. Don't let these averages keep you from doing your best, if that makes any sense. So the next thing we are going to talk about is the application. When it comes to a college application, they are just looking to see what makes you stand out from the rest. So with the University of Kentucky, since they have a 95% acceptance rate, oh my goodness, it sounds like someone just left the pool and they're not happy about it. If you hear that, there's a little kid in the background. I don't know what's going on. I think that they had to go home for lunch from the pool because it's like 1:30. Yeah, okay. So as I was saying, UK has an average of 95% for their acceptance rate, so their acceptance rate is fairly high. So I honestly, regardless of what school, I look at the application like an interview, but you don't have to be as stressed about UK, although you should always do your best, if that makes sense. So when you're going through the application, you have to constantly think to yourself, what is going to make me stand out? So for me, this was a time, my senior year was horrible. My mom had cancer. My parents were getting a divorce. I mean, we had to move because there was no money. It was just like a disaster. And although all of those things sucked, I could use them in my essays to help me stand out, if that makes sense. So one of the questions I was asked in all of my college essays was, what is a hardship you've been through and how did you handle it? Obviously, the situation I was in is not something that everybody goes through, so I wrote about that, and then I handled it with grace, and I handled it with poise, and I answered it to the best of my ability, and they saw that I stood out. Also, this is a time to look into any hobby you have. So for example, I am a black belt in karate. I got my black belt when I was 12, but there was a scholarship for that I applied for. So there's literally scholarships for everything. So just think about what makes you different. It could be anything. It could be from your childhood. It could be from 2 days ago. Literally anything. So for me, I'm 50% Latin. So I actually got a scholarship that paid for half of my tuition because of that and because of my grades. So that's another thing. Look into your ethnicity. If you are ethnically diverse, usually colleges are looking for that because they have to have a diverse population to meet certain standards. So you can use that to talk about how you were raised and how it was different from everybody else. Don't forget to mention it because that is going to be on your side. In my opinion, getting into college, having the grades is only a little bit of it. At this point, they want to see that you're well-rounded and they want to see that you're going to do something amazing and that what they're going to invest in you, they're going to get back 10 times fold. So just show off your best assets, but do it in a classy way. I don't know how else to explain that. So like, brag on yourself, but do it in a way that sounds like humility. It's like your time to shine. So for example, you can say, I am very confident in who I am because I was bullied all throughout high school. And then you talk about that hardship, and then you say, because of this, I want to go into a nonprofit for girls that were bullied and helping them get through that and helping them build their confidence. So that is one example. Super helpful to tie what you want to do back into the essay. Even if you're not sure what you want to do, just stick with what your most current idea is and build off of that, because they're going to help you build your career, and if you don't have anything in mind, they can't really help you. So please be tying that back in and just make it all go full circle, because I mean honestly, who you are was built upon your entire life, and that is usually why you want to do what you want to do. So it's not that difficult to tie it all together, in my opinion. It's just a matter of wowing them, I guess. You should be working on all of these things your freshman year of high school, because obviously your GPA needs to be high to get into a college. And if you are like me and you did not want to limit yourself, if you wanted to go to Harvard your senior year last minute, you could have done that. Like, that is my point of view. So I made sure that I had the highest I possibly could in every area. And I feel like that's the mindset you need to have. So don't feel like your freshman year you are not building up to college, because you definitely are. And it's much easier to keep an A than to have a 1.0 GPA and to have to build your way back up. It'll take a couple years, and then you won't have as competitive of an application. So I hope that this all made sense. If you need help and you want me to help you personally, I am happy to do that. I will leave my email down below, and you can tell me all about yourself and what you want to do, and I can help you tie that in for an essay. I would love to do it. I had 8 full rides when I was looking into colleges, so I like to think I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I would love to help you try and do the best that you can and get into an amazing university. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let me know if you want to see any other college videos. Usually I do beauty videos, but since it is that time of year, I wanted to help you guys get into the college of your dreams, because it's something I am passionate about doing. I love helping you guys. I love building schedules for colleges. I know that sounds crazy. Like your class schedule, that's so fun to me. So yeah, don't forget to like, don't forget to leave a comment telling me what you thought of this video. Where do you want to go to college? Do you need help? I'm happy to do that. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song.